Doctor, allergies seem to be something that more and more people are affected with. I know I have been. How do they affect us, and what sort of treatments? There's a lot out there. What sort of natural treatments can we find?
Yeah, allergies actually are extremely common and difficult to treat. And part of the of allergies, of course, is where you are. For example, Scott, you are interviewing me right now in Sonoma, which is the, I think if I'm correct, it's the most allergic county in the world. Because we have so much blossom of flowers that if you live here and long enough, everybody gets some kind of allergies. So part of allergies, of course, is the exposure to different allergens, different antigens that will create an immune response. So pollen is an example, from different flowers. People are allergic to different things. But still the question is, what can you do about allergies? Well, really to see what to do about allergies, we have to take a look and see what are allergies. Allergies are a response of our own immune system to a certain stimulation from the outside. Usually it's through something called IgE. This is the immunoglobulin that is responsible for the allergic response. And we can either have a runny nose or itchy eyes, or we can have rashes, different levels of allergic responses. So some people are allergic very easily to different antigens, and some people are not. So if really we look at allergy in a bigger context, allergy is an inappropriate immune response. We are over-responding to something. So if somebody is allergic, they can look at themselves and see emotionally, remember we talk a lot about mind-body medicine, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, how tolerant I am to other people, how tolerant I am to other ideas, how tolerant I am to other points of view. If we are very allergic to something, if we become very constrained, and we become quote-unquote allergic to anything outside, different foods, different people, different ethnic backgrounds, then we actually have, spiritually, psychologically, we have a very allergic, reactive personality. We get upset at anything. Anger actually is an allergic response. We are responding to some kind of, to something from the outside. Anger is a normal response. But if we get angry very easily, it's an abnormal response. Indeed, the liver, which is where anger is stored from the point of view of Chinese medicine, is a major organ involved with allergies. We often do liver detox and liver cleanses, right, to deal with allergies. So that's a little bit of seeing allergies in a bigger context. We have a normal immune response. We have an immune deficiency. We don't respond well, so we can get sick very easily, or we get cancer because we can't detect things happening in the inside which are inappropriate. We have hyper response, allergic response, and we have the immune system attacking what it's not supposed to attack, the person attacking themselves. It can be emotional, people being very hard on themselves, or also the immune system attacking ourselves, creating autoimmune diseases. So this is a bigger picture looking at all the different immune responses, and now allergies is only one of the categories within immune response. So what can we do about allergies? Well, the first thing is we want to remove the allergens. So if we are sensitive to certain pollen, or if we are sensitive to cats, or we are sensitive to dog fur, then sometimes we just have to remove these causative factors. With pollen, for example, very often if we become familiar, our body becomes quote-unquote familiar with the antigen, we don't respond to it. So for example, it's known that if you eat bee pollen that was produced in the area where you are living, and you start eating it in the winter, the season before the allergies come, your body will develop tolerance. And then when the pollen comes out from the flowers, you won't react to it because you recognize it as yourself. That's the idea of immune desensitization that often is given with injections. It does work sometimes, but in some level it also can suppress the immune system as a big picture. We also want to stay away from food that create more allergies. Milk products, and so dairy products, and gluten. Why does gluten increase allergies? it's not necessarily that it creates an allergic response. It's that gluten affects our digestive system. And when we have an inflammation in our gut, in dysbiosis, we get what we call leaky gut. We all heard about leaky gut.
Mm-hmm.
What do we mean? We mean that our digestive system is really our boundary. It's one of our boundaries. Whatever we eat can come through the mouth and come out through the rectum, and it has never been in our body, right? It's a one long
Mm-hmm.
tube. But then the nutrient that we choose to actually absorb gets absorbed through the gut into the body. Also toxins and also other issues. If we have inflammation in the gut, the space, because of the extravasation, the expansion, we get greater space between the cells. So big molecules that are not supposed to penetrate through the gut are now penetrating through the gut. And the body doesn't recognize them, they're not supposed to be there. And the result is immune response, allergic reaction. That's why gluten can cause symptoms like Parkinson, like mental function, many other symptoms, because the allergic reaction and the inflammation as a result can happen anywhere. So when we remove food like gluten, when we remove dairy products, we decrease the inflammation and we decrease the immune response, the inappropriate immune response. Mm-hmm. Then there are different botanicals that help with allergies, different herbs that help with phlegm. So there are different phlegm-clearing herbs. There are herbs that help with appropriate immune response. Medicinal mushrooms are very good for allergies, especially reishi and cordyceps, but also some of the other ones like maitake, for example. Different herbs like Lonicera japonica, jininhua, lianqiao, different Chinese herbs that are very good for allergies. And another herb called lulutang, also very good for allergies. So there are different botanicals, but allergies are tough because they are so basic to our constitution. But if we can look from a mental, emotional point of view of how we can decrease our allergic personality, if we can take food that help the integrity of the digestive system, and if we take different botanicals, and also we make sure we have enough minerals and vitamins, especially zinc and selenium and chromium, especially zinc, mm-hmm. then we'll have more of an appropriate immune response. It will decrease the incidence of allergies.
Is it important to find out what you're allergic to?
Yes, it's very beneficial. You see, there are allergies from environmental factors in the air, which are of course also important because you can try to avoid them. And there are also allergies from food. So if you're allergic to eggs and you're allergic to wheat, if you take them away, then your allergies will go down, of course. And often they are interrelated. You have allergies in the respiratory system and in the digestive system. When somebody has an allergic personality, an allergic constitution, it can express itself in many places.
Can your body sometimes handle it on its own? You hear a lot about people outgrowing their allergies. Is that a possibility where the immune system can be trained, I guess, for lack of a better word? Yes.
First of all, as we grow, as we become older, we become less acute in our response. It's almost like our immune system is almost taken down. It's not as vigilant, It doesn't respond as quickly. The other part is that, yes, we do become tolerant. The body recognizes this as part of its existence and doesn't respond to it. So definitely, it works both ways. The problem with using immune suppressants that will take care of allergies is that, yes, you have less allergies, you have less histamine, but you also have less of a normal inflammatory response. Inflammation is very important. It's how we deal with infection. It's how we deal with crises, how we deal with traumas. It's the beginning of the repair system. But, when you have terrible allergies, it really affects your life quality, and sometimes it's worthwhile, taking things that will numb the allergies, numb the histamine response. Mm-hmm. But this medication also have a numbing effect, right? You're more tired, you're more drowsy, you are numbed down. It's part of the tolerance. Mm-hmm. Often, so that's one way of getting used to allergies, it's just by numbing down, not a good way. The other part is that you improve your general health. Your digestion is better, so molecules don't penetrate as easily through the gut, so you don't have an inflammatory response. That's a better way of doing it.